Hey everybody, it's Justin from the camera shop in Muskegon, and we're really excited to bring you the very first look at the new Olympus M.Zuiko 100 to 400 millimeter lens. Now we're really excited about this. We know that Panasonic has had their Lumix 100 to 400 for a while, but this really gives us an opportunity to get an actual Olympus native mount. It's an f5 to 6.3 with image stabilization. We've got the box right here, so let's take a look what's inside. Alright guys, so we've got this right here. Let's get started, take a look, see what we've got. Packaged really nice. There would normally be some paperwork up there, like your warranty information. There's your fancy lens hood. We're gonna set that aside for a second. Get the lens out of the box. Okay, so we've got our first look at the 100 to 400 here, guys. Really cool. We've got the focus limiter. We've got the manual focus, override, autofocus, and we've got the image stabilizer. We've also got a lock right here. So there's the lock for the lens. So it's nice to have a lock. That way we know it's not going anywhere. I'm even turning the lens, it's not moving. So that's good. It's not like one of those pressure release where if you unlock it, it'll go. It's a 72 millimeter thread. So it's a 72 millimeter threaded cap. Just like the rest of their pro lenses. So the 40 to 150 is 72 millimeters along with some of their other lenses. So that's going to be a nice kind of parallel that if you have a circular polarizer, you've got a 72 CPL already built in. Right away, I've got the 40 to 150 right here. I'll kind of do two shots. So starting from above, you can kind of see what you've got there. And looking at them side by side right next to each other, you can kind of see the size differential. Definitely a little bit bigger, but that's fine. I mean, it's only like 2 inches bigger than the 40 to 150. The one thing that I like about the 100 to 400, if you look at the 40 to 150 and we look at the tripod bracket, the tripod collar, it's not arca Swiss, so you have to have an arca Swiss plate here in order to utilize your tripod. Now with the 100 to 400, we've got a built-in arca Swiss collar right here. That's what's really nice. So it's a built-in arca Swiss collar. I'll show an above view of that. So you can see that groove right here. That's for arca Swiss mounting. That's going to be really advantageous when setting up and on a tripod. And you got that little area for the lock right there. So there's a little negative space for the lock. So when you do set it up on a tripod, you have that little lock that you have to clear. There's just enough negative space to do that. So again, really nice size differential, not too much bigger between the two. And let's check these out mounted onto a camera. So first off, we'll mount it to the EM1 Mark III. This is one of the best cameras in the lineup. Just kind of do this here. So mounting it on there, it's not a bad size. This is almost like having a 70 to 200 millimeter lens on a Canon or Nikon, and it's actually still kind of smaller than most 70 to 200s. I would actually say this is closer to a Canon L series 70 to 200 as far as size goes. It's a little lighter. It's definitely that new design with the composite materials. With it not being a pro lens, they can use some of the composite materials while still keeping the weather sealing. They have the zero coatings on here, which means that you're going to get better light transmission and sharper images. But you can see that zoom, even when it pops out, is not that overwhelming. It's not going to change the balance if you're on a gimbal all too much. Now, I had the opportunity to shoot with this over the weekend, and it was just really nice to be able to to be able to zoom in to 800 millimeters with just what you see here. The advantage with the image stabilizer in this system versus the image stabilizer in the Panasonic is that the Panasonic image stabilizer is not going to talk to the Olympus camera. This should talk to the lens just fine, so that you'll be able to get the most out of your 5-axis image stabilization in your camera and also in your lens. Now, one features that I like on this system is the fact that you can use the teleconverter. So the MC20 and the MC14, the 1.4 converter and the 2X converter, can both be mounted to this lens. So we'll see what those look like here real quick, and that'll push us out to some additional length. If you're using the 2X, that's going to get you out to 1600 millimeters, and that's just a fantastic focal range to be working with. So it mounts cleanly onto the end of the lens right there, and we'll just mount that up, lock it into place. Feels good and balanced still with that. We'll kind of put it in the aperture priority mode, and I'll zoom all the way out, and even at 1.4 on here, and I'm in manual focus mode on the camera. Autofocus is really quick, really accurate, dialing in. It's at 6.3 with the 1.4 teleconverter, so I didn't lose any stops of light by putting the 1.4 teleconverter on the lens and the camera. So that's fantastic. That means with the 2X we'll probably lose a stop of light, but I'm not losing that right now with the camera. I'm at 6.3 at an 800th of a second. Granted, my auto ISO is on, so I'm at 5000 ISO, but that's a nice balanced camera. Again, no bigger than a 70-200 with that 1.4 teleconverter. With the 2X, you can guarantee that that's going to be much further, and it's going to kind of take a stop of light away. But I'm really excited about this. Again, looking at the size differential between the two, we'll just kind of put these side by side so you can kind of see what you're dealing with. I think it's going to be a great addition to their lineup for a lot of you birders out there. So I had the opportunity this last weekend to be able to test this lens at Frankfort, Michigan, shooting the North Pier from the South Pier. And it was just such a fantastic experience to be able to shoot from shore at 800 millimeter equivalent, and knowing what the 75-300 was like, what that gives you as far as quality. That's essentially a 150-600, and I got great shots with that, and I know that a lot of customers have said that at the 300 millimeter end, the 600 millimeter equivalent, you don't get a lot of that sharpness unless you're shooting in bright sunny light. Well, this was something I got to shoot, as the clouds were kind of covering the sun, so I was kind of having that opportunity where I had good sunlight and then it was blocked sunlight. Well, it just performed perfectly. I was able to get that sharp focus, as you can see in my sample shots, and the lens just performed outstandingly. I was so happy to be able to use it and to be able to, again, use the digital teleconverter inside the lens to be able to push it out to 1600 millimeters right in camera. So I got a feel for what the 2X teleconverter could do for me, and that's where it's just gonna shine when you have the teleconverters. So being able to get to 1600 millimeters, you be able to, you get the 2X teleconverter on there. Now you can get out to 3200 millimeters with the digital, and that's going to add a lot of fun and interest for you utilizing this lens. So if you already have the Panasonic 100-400, you already know what you're getting out of this, but now you're getting that native mount. So that's it for this first time look and open box review of the 100-400. Again, this is our first time look at this lens. After testing it, performed great. I recommend this for anyone who's doing wildlife or birding photography. It's just a great addition to the lineup. Definitely is going to trump the 100-400 Panasonic Lumix lens, because now you're getting that native mount. You're getting 100% compatibility. You're getting the zero coatings from Olympus. You're getting the premium weather sealed build. This lens is just shy from being a pro lens, and at $14.99 and being smaller than a 70-200 lens, it's going to be a great addition to any birder or wildlife photographer's kit. So we're really excited to bring this to you, and we're looking forward to many more advancements, especially the 150 to 400 that's coming later this year. If you guys have any questions, come to the camera shop. We'd be happy to get you situated. In the meantime, enjoy, take care, and happy shooting to you.